Haka Snibar jong tayo kata hak ar tarik ubenail ber ar hajar ar ki Dkhot jong kanhun Seng badan ki jing Duna Dkhot met Kiba kantup ya kan National Center for Promotion of Employee for Disabled Persons, Barefoot Trust, ka Blind Leit Trust, ka Khasi Disabilities Association, ka Meghalaya Deaf Association, but ka Meghalaya Liberation for Visual Impaired kilawan pan pasngau hakilat pathai kubor ha Shillong Press Club halor ka Jingeh hak bai de ka jingbom trelang kinong nya kali kamai but kumjuru ki pajba ki badan kali shimet ban yirap kentiu ye kitiar bat ban kiar kali ka Jingsham jong kita ki Duna Dkhot men ka deiru babon ki kali kim jukit yaki khamtam ki kali kamai hak ba kisha kantaj bat ka jinglehe jong kinong nya kali kamai ka Jingsham jong ki habagi ya surok kilong baki kali kilaya lagaya wat haba kilade banai kisain ban sange yatu ka samla priska pengrup Nagaliang jong Presiden ke Khasi Disabilities Association ubak Starwin Kharjana bat kumjuru ubak Ferdinand Marshallong ubari Research Scholar on Person with Disabilities kiladon lang ban pensngawi hakane ki te ki kanhon ki Duna Dkhot met ki thu bakal ade kapor bak sarkar kade banai ke Jingiaid ki nongnya kali bat kumjuru ye ki pajba bat shushu kane kanhon kanselet bania kendu yo Myntri Rangbah ka sarkar jelau kodrat kesangma bat ban airu ye city halor kane ke Jingsham Jingeh jongki
I Priskapong Group. I would like to talk about the accessibility transportation. Roads are small and very winding road which make it difficult for PWD to cross from one side to another. The footpaths are narrow and there are lots of barriers while traveling on the footpath. Electrical posts, drains, holes, trees, steps and also street hawkers crowds the footpath. Buses and local taxi does not have signage or indicating the road which the driver is traveling, therefore it poses problem to the hard of hearing and deaf people. Buses and taxis not accessible for locomotor disabled. Blind, hard of hearing and deaf people, they never get a seat while traveling on public buses and have to pay full rate as other people. The buses and taxi fares are also different from one driver to another. Many drivers do not want to carry pickup and rejected by PWD as a passenger in the vehicles as they discriminated the persons from charge double the fare and while other takes advantage and do not return the change of person who are blind or low vision. The collective of organizations, including National Center of Promotion, Employment for Disabled People, Barefoot Trust Meghalaya, Deaf Association, Khasi Disabilities Association, Blind Leit Trust and Meghalaya Liberation for Visual Impaired, urge the government to initiate the process of making transport and mobility accessible with the active involvement of persons with disability. Barriers related to accessibility are not limited to the person with disability, while the person with disability constitute 1.4% of the entire population in Meghalaya. Accessible transport and its accompanying hurdles affects the independent mobility of its senior citizens who constitute 6% of the population, combined with the issues of safe accessible transport for students via public transport. We are looking at a base population of 22% that is compiled to avoid independent mobility within the state. Meghalaya has its achievement, but at the same time, it is evident that independent mobility and accessible transportation as a core area of focus which address will reduce the barrier. The collective requests the government to seriously consider the following: prepaid taxi service, concessions rate for PWD and low-income readership fees, accessible public transport vehicle, assisted rides or public transit, special license for PWD with stickers to place on the two-wheeler or four-wheeler vehicles, accessible footpath for wheelchair user and blind people, accessible parking spaces, signage on the buses, local taxi, tourists to show the road for traveling and signage on government and private buildings. textiles footpath and zebra crossing, wider roads and cover all drainage that pose a problem for all citizens. Thank you for all your cooperation.